Welcome back everybody to another Fortnite tips and tricks video. This one's all about the very best methods to land at Brawlers Battlegrounds and Mount Olympus. If you use the method I've shown you here in this video, you can even get 2 medallions with ease every single game you play. So let's get right to it. So this first drop spot here, you can use to go to either location. For this example, we're going to be going to Brawlers Battlegrounds. So you're going to want to land on top of the sandy mountain to the left of Brawlers Battlegrounds. Now on top of this mountain you have a great vantage point to take pop shots at other players who are trying to land in the area. And I highly recommend doing this to scare them off. Now every single time you land here, I've been really lucky and I've found 3 chests, plus there is always 2 slurp barrels which you can break for guaranteed 20 shields every game. And then you also have the jump pad which you can use to rotate to either location. After you're finished looting and shielding up, jump on the bounce pad and head towards Brawlers Battlegrounds. Go towards the building with the half-broken red dome. Now after landing here a few times, I found out even more about this location. So you can actually land on this building here, and there's a god chest at the top level and an extra 3 barrels for you to break for an additional 30 shield. This will also ensure you get a pretty good weapon every time. So now back to the original drop here. So when you land, always take out any enemies that you might see as quickly as possible. And what's really nice about this spot is there's a lot of chests and floor loot just in this little building here. Loot up any chest you find in the near area and then head over towards the big broken minotaur head, but don't exit the building and instead hang a right and go down and round to the back. Avoid the stairs and go down the hallway, turn right. Now here you're going to find another chest which you can loot and another additional 3 slurp barrels. That's guaranteed 80 shields. By now you should have pretty good starting loot for the game, and definitely more than good enough loot in order to start the fight with the boss. Now, if you don't, you can still continue looting up if you want to, or you could go out to the middle courtyard and start the fight. Now, if not, you can also go back towards the minotaur head, and there's a bush which you could use to hide and wait if you want a third party and let someone else start fighting the boss, or if you just want to make sure that there is nobody else lurking around this POI. And that's what makes this location so great. It's the fact that you don't really have to worry about anything behind you because there's nothing there except for water, and you're not going to really have too many players coming from that direction. Also, when you fight the boss, all of his guards and the boss himself spawn near that big broken building with the red dome that I'm looking at right now. So you're going to know for sure what footsteps are from the boss and his guards and which ones are likely to be enemy players. If any footsteps are coming from the front of the POI, which people would normally come in from, then you know for sure that there's a very high chance that that is an enemy player and not just one of the game's AI. When you're ready to fight the boss and challenge him, go break the statue in the middle of the POI. Then you're going to immediately want to head back to the building which we initially landed at. Do this because, as I said earlier, you don't have to worry about any enemies coming from the right side or near the water. And as I said before, all the boss's AI guards are all going to spawn by that building with the broken dome. This location here also gives you a little bit of high ground by the stairs, and there's a lot of cover which you can hide behind so that you're not going to be getting hit very much by the guards that are shooting at you. And you only have to worry about enemies coming from the area I was just looking at to the left there. Now, his guards come in 2 waves, so I usually like to take out the first wave and maybe the second, and then I head back over more to the right, kind of more near the minotaur head, because there's all these pillars around here which are really great cover to use in order to prevent yourself from taking any damage, and it gives you more cover from the front of the POI in case anybody is coming to try a third party. Once you try out this method, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to have a much easier time defeating Ares and getting his mythic assault rifle, which is one of the best in the game, and also his medallion is also very good as it increases the damage of all your ranged weapons, which is why I always highly recommend going for Ares' medallion first before going to try to get Zeus's medallion, especially too because Zeus takes much longer to kill and Ares is the easier boss. For a way better reward for the risk you have to put in, plus it's a much smaller POI with a lot of cover, making it great to fight at, And you can easily make it to Mount Olympus afterwards too, and take out Zeus and get his medallion or the DMR if you want it as well. So next, I'm going to show you the next landing spot, and this one is more for landing at Mount Olympus if you want to just go straight for Zeus. So you're going to want to land at the back side of the mountain, near where the statue is, but down a little bit. So find a spot with these rocks, and there's 3 slurp barrels and 2 chests here. And it's not too far down the mountain and not too far up the mountain. Now, down the mountain just a little bit, there is a campsite with a god chest that always spawns by a tent. Now, I didn't land there because I always prefer to land up a little bit higher, so I have some high ground, and I noticed another enemy player there. So you're better off landing here, because this will give you the high ground on anybody who does land lower on the mountain. Plus, because of the slurp barrels, you're always going to at least guarantee yourself a little bit of shields landing here, so you should have a health advantage over anybody else. And you can always quickly run down to get that chest anyway. Now, in this example here, I did end up going that way, just so you can see where the chest is in the spot I'm talking about. And I also wanted to show you this, which is another great reason why it's so good to land here. There is a zip line which you can use to get down to the water here, and look at that. There is a boat with 2 slurp trucks and some more loot there for you. Now, since I had 2 sets of wings, I just literally dive bombed right to it. Now, I would not recommend landing directly on this boat, as you're going to be putting yourself at the absolute low ground. But this is a good spot that you could always fall back to if you are contested on your drop, or if you do get hurt and you really do want to go heal up before continuing your game. So now let's head back up to the top of the mountain near that statue. This is what really makes this spot so good to land at, is the fact that you have options. Because up here near the statue, you're going to find another possible chest drop right here on this rock, and there's another one right near the cliff face up top here too. You could always veer off and go hit one of these chests to get some loot and have a fighting chance if somebody's going to beat you to where you initially planned to drop. And now, if you're not lucky enough to find wings or shockwaves, now you can always go over here to use this jump pad in order to rotate over to Mount Olympus. There is a zipline here, but I don't really recommend using ziplines. If you watch my last videos about how to get better at Fortnite, you'll understand why. And now, an absolute very last resort, there's this small little building down from where we initially landed, and this one also always has a chest and a god chest right here as well. And even farther down, there's 2 chests on a rock here, and there's this little metal building here that also has a chest and a couple slurp barrels in it. That's just an absolute worst case scenario. You always want to land on the high ground. Now back up to the top of the mountain. So near the statue here, you're going to have a really good vantage point on the building on which Zeus spawns in once you tip over the statue. And you could also move around the other side of it to take pop shots off if you have a sniper or another long form weapon. And it's usually pretty easy to third party people from up here. And now, like I said before, if you did find shockwaves or you have wings, you don't need to worry about getting down here. Just equip your wings and jump off. You won't take any fall damage. You can get down here very quickly from coming from the statue at the top of the mountain. You also don't need to be in a rush to come and fight Zeus, as this location is also always very contested with a lot of other players trying to go for Zeus and his medallion. So you have more than enough time to take your time and show up here a little bit late. Also, Zeus is one of the hardest bosses to kill, as he takes the longest, so you're way more likely to get third-partied if you try to start fighting this boss early. Because when you spawn him in, what happens is he spawns with guards, and then once you knock him, he then spawns a bunch more guards that you have to kill, and then he comes back to life again with full health and full shield, and I believe even more guards, and you have to knock him again a 3rd time in order to defeat him and to get his loot. Now, what Zeus's medallion does is it makes you sprint faster and also jump higher while sprinting, and while you're doing one of these sprint jumps, you're also immune to fall damage. So it's a decent thing to have, but it's probably one of the worst medallions. Actually, it is the worst medallion in my opinion to go for, as the other ones are just so much better in comparison. And now the weapons you drop Some people love it, some people hate it. He drops the mythic DMR. And I think this weapon is actually very, very good. But it all depends on if you are really good at sniping or not, or if you just have a playstyle that that weapon works well with. Which is why I do generally recommend that you go for Ares first. Because like I said before, he has a really, really good, powerful assault rifle, the best assault rifle in the game, and his medallion will also make it so your ranged weapons do more damage. And now this medallion of Ares is very good with Zeus's DMR. Plus, if you defeat Ares first, it's going to be much easier for you to defeat Zeus more quickly and prevent the chances of getting third parties. And also, you'll be able to take out those other players who may still be there very quickly. Now here, I'm just going to let this gameplay continue playing just to prove to you that it is very possible to make it to both of these mythic boss locations and get both medallions in one game. Also, please do stay tuned into my channel, like and subscribe, because I am also working on a video to show you some very good methods in order to easily take out Hades to get his medallion and the mythic SMG, and take out Cerberus to get his medallion and the shotgun. So do stay tuned for that. And don't forget to comment down below, share this video with your friends, let me know which one of the mythic weapons you think is the best, and what your favorite drop spots are this season. But that'll be all for this video from me. I'm Big Papa Smurf 187. Hope this video helped you out. Thank you for watching, and have fun gaming. Till next time, bye.